All right, I don't know how well you can see what's behind me, but I know you can't tell what it is. It's just a bunch of metal awnings off of like windows on the outside of an old house. And that's what I've been doing today. It's Wednesday evening. I've been at it for like 5 hours taking these things down. And in my pocket, I've got all the screws that I had to take out, man. And you know, they're all different sizes, they're all different shapes. Well, they're not different shapes. They're screws. They're different sizes. And they're rusted and they're old, and I could just keep, pulling them out of my pocket, but then, I wouldn't have any room in my hands anymore. So anyway, sometimes I think in life, that's what we feel like is just like we've been worked over. Whether you're physically worn out, from whatever you've been doing, whether you're like these old, outdated metal awnings over a window that were probably put up in the 50s or 60s, I'm guessing. I have no idea. I mean, they're ancient. You never see them hardly anymore. And my wife told me they were ugly and we needed to take them down. So taking them down. Or sometimes maybe it's just like you feel like you're just like one of these worn out, rusted, not much life left screws because of whatever you've been through. Baseball is a long season. College baseball, I've heard people say for many years, is probably one of the toughest collegiate sports to play because you're on the road so much and you're trying to do school. And man, you started basically in January, and then, but you still had fall practice, and you guys had COVID and all this other weird stuff to go through, and you didn't have screws jamming up your nose, but all those tests and everything. And then here it is, the end of May, and you're still playing. And so I'm sure it feels sometimes like you're worn out. And if you're coaching and you've got a family, I know it feels like you're worn out, like maybe you've got nothing left. Like maybe you're just ready for somebody to rip you off the side of a house and throw you out because you've got nothing. But what I want to tell you is something that God's been saying from the very beginning, is that rest is part of life. You have to do it. Now I know everybody knows you got to sleep and all that kind of stuff. You can't go 24 hours, and if you try to do that, you can't do that very many times. I mean, all-nighters for tests, you pay for them the next day usually. But we're supposed to have rest. There's a rhythm to life. When God created the world, 6 days he worked through creation, and on the seventh day he rested. And then as he spoke to mankind moving forward, he told them that's kind of the pattern. That's what you need to do. You need to take a day to rest. That word Sabbath, a lot of people think it's church, but it's really about rest. It is about taking a break. Yeah, we're put on this earth to work, and we feel good when we work and when we accomplish things and when we have progress. It all feels good, but we're still supposed to rest. There's supposed to be a break. And with baseball, you just about don't get one until now. You're at the very end, and rest is what you need, and rest is what you're gonna have. And I know some of you are fixing to jump into summer ball. I know some of you are gonna go home and work, and so you get a little bit of break from baseball, but you're still gonna be busy. And if you're a coach, you're probably fixing to jump on the recruiting trail, I'm assuming. So I'm outside by the road. Anyway, but right now, at least for a few days, find a way to rest. You need it. You deserve it. You're supposed to have it. You're supposed to do it. It's a freaking commandment. Find a way to rest. And don't just watch TV. I mean, watch a little bit of TV. Watch something funny. That's probably what you need to watch right now. But rest, like unplug. Have a good long conversation with somebody that's uplifting. Sit by the pool. Rest. Take a break. In the 11th chapter of Matthew, verse 28, Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest." In the next verse, he talks about kind of basically him carrying your load and the burdens that you have, and you finding rest for your souls. Like physical rest you need, but rest for your souls as well. And so I would say, as you're unplugging, as you're doing whatever you need to do to rest, man, I would encourage you to pick up a Bible. Google a Bible passage. Read Philippians if you haven't read that yet. I've been trying to get you to read it, so maybe you already have. Read it. Let God talk to you. Write down some things you want to pray about and pray about them. And just spend some time being quiet and listening. Have rest for your souls. Send a text to an old teacher or an old coach and tell them thanks for believing in you. Thanks for giving you opportunities. Maybe text your grandma, or your aunt, or your mama, or somebody. Have a conversation. Pick up the phone. Rest. Unplug. And you know what? I got this big pile of screws. I got a ton more in my pocket. I got all these awnings behind me. But there's still 5 more awnings out there on that house. And there's still a ton of other work that I've got to do to this place. And then other work that I've got to do over the summer. There's still stuff to do. And for you guys, there's still stuff to do later this week. So yeah, it's not that everything's over. And I know you've got your summer coming and everything else. It's not that it's over. It's just this is a little bit of a time to rest. Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest." Take that rest that Jesus offers. Love you guys. Still praying for you. I'll be tuning in on Friday. Go Hawks. Adios.